the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Guys, we are back for season 19 of Dancing with the Stars after a long summer away. We missed you guys, and we're glad to be here. I'm Kristyn Burtt, and joining me in studio, straight across from me, Suri Serano. Hi, everybody! Yes, we're here! And to her left, it is Trebunskaya.
Shake it, shake it, shake it. Hello, everybody.
To my right is not Jake Dupree, who will be back in 2 weeks, but holding his seat and holding the fort down, we've got Serge Onik.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Or should I call you Sergey?
However you want.
I've known you as Sergey and then
My
Serge
favorite
from
is
So You Think.
my favorite is when Mandy calls me Serge.
Serge.
There it is.
Yes. So holding down the fort for us this week, we certainly appreciate it. There's so much to talk about. 13 contestants. A few changes that we did see. We've got Julianne coming aboard as a judge. And I think, first week out, I think she did a good job. Anyone else have anything different to say on that?
I agree. My pro right
Anna
here
is big. What were your thoughts when she was added as the fourth judge?
I think she did a good job. I think having her as the fourth judge, as a permanent fourth judge, maybe not my cup of tea.
Okay, because Rob Wade said he sees that Len is starting to slow down and probably retire, and he's looking for someone to fill in permanently, and that was sort of his thoughts with Julianne. Who would you have put in that seat?
I would put
Besides yourself, because we would love you there.
Hell yeah. No, I would put in Derek.
But he's still dancing.
Doesn't matter.
Derek also said yesterday he'd be the worst judge ever because he'd be like, 10s for everybody, 9s for everybody. I can't,
But somebody like that, somebody who has very strong gravitas, somebody who's been...
I think we should put Max.
Or... I was getting there, but that's sure. Interrupt me anytime. I find it sexy. Somebody who has gravitas, somebody who's been around for a while, hence Max, and somebody who maybe was an Emmy winner, hence Derek. Somebody who's has a bit of a...
We always love Shirley Ballas as a name.
Yes, Shirley Ballas is great. Somebody with a bit more gravitas when it comes down to... And I think Julianne's done so much for dance industry, and she's a fantastic dancer. She's very, very talented. But she's she's sitting next to Len, and she's like his grandchild. And she's adorable, and she's gorgeous, and I think she is so... sparkly and bubbly, and her energy is so but it's not even about that. She did great. I think she did the best that she could do, and she's fantastic.
Yeah.
But she's, young.
She's still young. She's in her 20s, let's be honest.
Yeah, she's...
And not her late 20s either.
No.
I like her as a judge. I get what you're saying. I don't have a problem with her at all. I like that she's going to speak her mind.
For a younger generation,
and be
maybe?
fair. Well, why not?
No, absolutely.
Well, and I think a couple seasons ago she said something about Mark, and then last season it was a controversial comment about Max, so it proves that she is willing to go on either.
She's willing to go there, yes.
She's willing to go there. It doesn't matter who it is, so I will at least point out that. It's all fair with Julianne. 58-second dances we had, so they were fast, man.
And quick.
You were in studio. How fast were they?
Super fast. You didn't even realize how 7 numbers just went by.
You're like, it's done. I do want to say I was super happy not to see any contemporary the first week, and I was thinking about you because you and I think we're on the same page about that. Every season, I'm like,
you guys
stop
don't like
it.
the contemporary?
Happy about
We
that.
love the contemporary
later in the season.
later in the season. But we do feel that if somebody has a contemporary, especially a male celebrity, very first week, I feel that's a little bit of advantage for them. In a way, for the first week, but disadvantage because they don't actually get to learn the ballroom technique, which is so different. And 60% of the show is still going to be ballroom, I hope, but maybe not. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
We have no clue what's coming,
Yeah.
you know? It's a full season ahead of us. Were you happy that there was no contemporary?
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't need to be the first show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't believe they pulled out Jive for them. Like, welcome to the show.
Yeah, that was a good twist. Yeah.
Right.
A little mean, but they did it.
A little tough.
Before we get into everyone's number, let's talk about Mandy Moore. Again, I think she's going to be doing all season from what we understand and killing it again.
I love Mandy. Yeah. I think she's so good with all these group numbers and taking the different genres and the different styles of dancers and making it into a huge group performance. She's killing that.
I loved opening night numbers both nights. The all group ladies number.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little later. We'll talk about
that was
night two,
ridiculous. But no, I loved her work. I love her work.
She said something interesting because I had her on during the So You Think season, and she said, you know, I don't have the language of ballroom, so I use Emma and she said Val and Jenna and Sasha quite a bit to go, I need something like this or whatever, you know, and they'll come up with something. And she said it's very confusing, like the hand grips and things like that. She says as a dancer, it's very different from contemporary versus what you guys do in ballroom. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the way the numbers come out looking like that, you realize how gifted she is.
Well, she has a vision, I think, for every single time. So that's the most important thing as when you're a choreographer. It's just like a director, right? You have to have a vision of a film or a vision of a play or like just the whole thing, how it's going to be, and then the details you can fill in with kind of who you have, what's your material. And it's so great that we have all these wonderful people in there. I mean, she could really ask any of those guys to be like, hey, could you be my guinea pig? And they will, and they'll come up with something brilliant. I loved the very beginning. I think the production of it was so much fun. I loved all the introducing of the judges in between, you know, just, it was like silly, goofy, cheesy a little bit.
But it felt big.
But it felt like Dancing with the Stars galore. Here we come.
Absolutely.
Last season, with the opening, and I think you and I we felt like it was a little low. It was oh my, talk dirty to me. And it was like a great song, but it just was like low energy.
It was like a season, like it was like a week 4 opening.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a week 1 where you want to come out with this hugest bang, but I think they took all the notes that obviously they didn't take notes from us, but whatever the notes they took for themselves. And
AFTERBUZZ notes.
Yeah, doubt it, but if you do, hey, maybe that's why I wasn't invited back for like group numbers and stuff. It's okay, no bitter feelings at all.
Did you see her body? I saw the bikini photo yesterday. Come on.
Thank you.
Wow.
I've actually been dancing starting summer, and you know we've done
All summer. I've seen videos of you all summer.
I've done BWAT, and I've done some other dancing festivals and things like that. So it's like I had to get back to shape. You know, Mama had to go back to work. So
Well, you're looking good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get into those dances. They're not being introduced this season. They're just putting them like a little note on the screen that's like, jive.
yeah,
It's a little anticlimactic. Isn't that weird?
yeah. It's like and go.
Yeah, it's not like cha-cha-cha. Where's my cha-cha-cha?
Yeah,
You know?
I think they were trying to save some time. Those might come back maybe when they have like.
True story.
Yeah.
Are they coming back, do you think?
Well, they
Or is
can,
that a
it
true story? Are you making up stories?
Oh, no, I'm not throwing facts. I'm just saying now because there's the whole cast and everyone has to dance. That's why the numbers are shorter. They probably changed the opening because of that. Or maybe it's leaving room because if you notice, like last season, the production of the beginning of the numbers got so much more in depth.
Of a production,
you know?
yes.
So maybe now they're taking away the, hello, this is blah, 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 and they're just going to
They were
introduce
moving
the dance.
the judging along very quickly. We didn't get to hear full judging on a lot of the contestants either, so
Yes.
they were
Lots to fit in.
Lot to fit in, and same for us. So
Yeah.
let's
Yes.
get into Antonio and Cheryl kicking off the season with their cha-cha. What do we think of Antonio? Because he's a gorgeous-looking man, and I think I was expecting a lot of heat and sexiness, and I was surprised. I mean, the
You were
nerves.
underwhelmed.
I was a little underwhelmed, honestly, but you know what? First guy up, first of the season, super nerves. Come
That's
on.
hard to do, to kick
So
off the
hard.
show. You're the first number. He probably, you know, and he doesn't dance. That's not his shtick, you know? But you would think with his bravado that, you know, some Rico Suaveness would come out. And I was also a little underwhelmed. I thought it was, I don't want to say stiff because it's not, he still had movement. He was still going for it, but he didn't, I don't think he felt comfortable in it.
He's a bit clunky. He has big feet.
Does he have really big, like, skis
I don't
for
know.
feet?
They look like they beat. They look like big because
Well,
of
he's a
the
big
way.
guy.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy. I mean, he's really nice to look at, you know, and that helps.
Dimples,
Dimple, I mean,
muscles.
he's adorable. Like he's charming, and he's like one of the younger guys this season. We don't have the 15-year-old Corey. So was he 15?
Cody Simpson, he was 17. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
But it's like he's just overwhelmed, I feel, and also just kind of has all this like stuff thrown at him, and he's like, what? And Cheryl's doing her thing, and she looked fantastic. But can I comment on that outfit, on the whole thing? I mean, I was like, I didn't even want to look at his dancing. I was like,
She looks amazing.
Cheryl looks amazing.
She looked
like the last
so good.
3 seasons. Better. I mean, I didn't think she could get
The
any
number
better.
started with the wind blowing in her hair. She looked great.
Yes, she looked fantastic. So I think she did the best. She did great. I feel Antonio could be. I'm waiting for him to break out of his shell. Let's put it that
He
way.
needs a breakthrough. How about you, Suri?
I feel they were kind of middle of the road for me, but I think I'm hopeful that he's one of those guys that will continue to get better as he gets more comfortable.
Yeah.
And he has the soap fans that'll keep him around. We know that for
Yes.
sure. They'll vote for him. So I think if he can have a breakthrough at the right time, it'll give him the momentum that he needs in terms of dance. So 6, 6, 6, 7. So now we have 4 all season. So 25. I mean, some of these scores, some of them were all over the map, which they are every season. But I think that was the way to open.
Monday was. Maybe it's me watching it like being from outside for a couple of seasons now, but they kind of more so Monday than ever. It felt like they were very like unfair to certain people.
Yeah. I think there's a couple cases. I think there's a couple
We'll
cases that we
talk about
get
it.
into
Yeah.
it. I think that there were. I think this one was kind of
The cha-cha
Right.
for Antonio was, I think it was 6s for him, no 7. Expected from Bruno because Bruno, after the comment about, how sexy Antonio is and stuff. So it's like, okay, I got you. You're biased, I guess.
I get your back.
I can see that, yeah.
A generous 7.
All right, here we go. New pro Artem with Leah Thompson. What a good looking. Is that for Artem or for Leah or for both of them? They're both. I mean, they're so. I want to tell Leah. She's like, I'm the old lady at 53. Woman, you look like you're 35. So
Yes.
you look gorgeous. She's amazing. They did the foxtrot. And this is one of the contestants that does have some dance training. I know it was a long
Ballet.
time ago, but
Right.
ABT, American Ballet Theater.
Hello.
It's not some training. That's
It's
training.
training.
It's like some serious.
I would like that training.
But you
Till
still
she was
have
like,
that
what, 20?
muscle memory. Till she was 20.
Did you see those hands? Like, I mean, she knew
carriage.
exactly what she was doing. And Artem is a driller, so he's
Yes.
teaching her ballroom. She's never had that kind
But
of
she's
training.
got the discipline.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I love this couple. I'm really excited about them. Artem is amazing. I think Leah is in the
hot.
most incredible hands.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's hot too. We all know that. But I think Artem is going to be similar to Val in that he can bring a lot out of whoever he's with.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right, I
So
agree
I'm
with
really
you.
excited about that.
I'm excited about them in a way. She reminds me of Jennifer. Gosh, what's her last name?
Jennifer Grey.
Yes, Jennifer. Sorry.
Who was at your baby
Jennifer
shower?
Grey, Yes.
That Jennifer Grey.
Sorry, Jennifer.
The Jennifer Grey.
I know you.
Baby shower.
I know you by the first name. I'm sorry. No.
They're good friends.
Yeah, in a way, she reminds me of Jennifer Grey with her grace. I guess it's the balletic training with the grace and just the not just the grace of movement, but the grace of the people that they are. They elegant, they sophisticated, they both, very beautiful to look at and just have this spunkiness but calmness around them as well. And it's very, very pleasant to watch. So I'm looking forward to see her in her development. And I feel Artem is a little bit he's weaving cleverly. He's starting fairly he's being smart about it. He's not going to be like, here are all my guns. Like, I feel there's so much to Artem that we're going to see this season. I'm super excited to see what he's going to bring. He knows how to win, but I also know him very well back from Mother Russia. I mean, we used to, we used to train with the same coach. So I've seen him, like, I know the guy, and I've seen him compete as an amateur, and I've seen him when he turned pro, and when he came to the United States. We were in the same area, the same studios. So it's like, this guy is incredible, and I'm very, very excited to see what he's going to bring to the table.
I'm excited. I just got excited when I saw her turned out attitude in the first round. I was like, turned out, no sickling. sickled feet. I have a heart attack over them. I'm like, sickled feet.
Here she goes.
I know, it's so early in the season, but it was so gorgeous and lovely to watch.
I'm
really
excited
was.
because I think she pulled a fast one with this one, because in the package you see what her personality is like. You said spunky, that was the word I was thinking, and that the dance they did wasn't spunky. It was elegant, it was classy. So I think that was an act, and I can't wait to see what the fun dancers are going to look like, and see what her jives and pasos and salsas where she gets into.
She's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
8s across the board, 32. I think that's good.
Awesome.
Yep, I think we're all good. All right, we move on to Janelle and Val doing the jive. I think this is another, strong contender, strong couple, because she's another one that has had some dance training, Broadway performer as a kid.
Ariana Grande outfit.
Amazing outfit.
Did it not
It was
remind you
a
of
dead
that?
ringer of Ariana.
For Ariana, come on.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
What do we think of the jive? I think that I think everyone was kind of expecting bigger scores on this one. So
What was their score?
7, 7, 7, 8.
I was shocked.
Yes and no. I mean, the scores were a little bit all over the place for me. I mean, they could have had more 8s, definitely. I think she's a phenomenal performer, and I think she sells every single. I agree with Julianne, actually. Every single thing that Julianne said, and I agree with Len and all those people, because I feel like in the first few weeks the judges actually say the truth.
Yep.
What they really feel. So she's awesome. Again, I'm excited to see her improvement, because if this is her first week, what's going to happen week 5
With jive. Like,
and that's exactly. Go ahead.
No. I wanted to say, like, I'm really excited about this couple, and I love everything that Val does with his partners, and you can never count out Val and whoever he's with.
Yep.
Here's my concern about her. She's a great. Am I vibrating? Are you okay? My concern about her. Yes, she knows how to perform because, obviously her background and whatnot. I'm having a difficult time just week 1 connecting with her, and I know it's only week 1. My concern is maybe a Christina Milian type situation. I'm not saying it's a huge, massive concern. I'm just saying, like, I hope that people connect with her besides her fans, because there's so much good there with the whole pairing and everything.
Yeah,
that's all.
They have some good chemistry, and I think she's a strong, confident young girl, and I think that sometimes it doesn't seem like you're opening yourself up to the vulnerability, and I think you need to do that
and
in Dance
people
with the
get
Stars.
it and feel that connection.
And you know that from So You Think.
Right, you need to be relatable, and
Yes.
when people come out like full confidence, most people don't go, "Oh, that's me,"
Yeah.
But maybe what I'm hoping is that the connection between the two of them is what people can relate to, maybe, and they enjoy that story and want to ride with them. 'cause
Yes, the connection between the two of them, so that every girl can watch and be like,
And
I'd love
they're
that to be me, and
very kissy.
I want to tell him I love you, and I want to do that.
Janelle does have a very serious boyfriend.
Right.
Has already downplayed the showman's
Right.
thing, so
Very good.
there we are with
We
that.
have to deal with that.
Well, then they must be really like feely touchy if she has a serious boyfriend.
Yeah.
If my boyfriend saw me kissing another man like that on the lips, he'd probably
But they weren't kissing.
smack
They
me
did. They
down.
It was not like making
It was
out.
like
It was a very friendly kiss.
on the lips.
Okay, I have a question about this, and one of the viewers actually tweeted me, and I thought it was a good question. It's for Anna, but is any of the showmance storyline ever forced on the couples by producers? Because we know that there's some suggestions and some
question.
producing of packages and things like that.
Well, I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
And throughout all of my Dancing with the Stars experience, I was off limits, so that never happened.
Okay.
To me.
Okay. That's good to know. So otherwise, interpret as you will.
I was never thrown on to anybody, so I don't know if this happens.
Did you throw yourself on your own to someone?
No.
Just asking. All right. We
politely
start some
asked.
rumors.
It's first.
So that was 7-7-7-8 was the score, 29 total. They have room to improve, of course, and they're definitely a couple to watch this season.
Yes.
I think that's we'll keep our eye on them for sure. All right, and then we go to we'll have a lot to talk about on this one. Lolo and Keo, the new pro who I just adore. And by the way, guys, he's coming here next week.
Oh, that's
He
amazing.
confirmed. Yes.
Welcome to the show, Kia.
Yes, I just got the text. JC Rubio, our red carpet reporter, organized that, so we certainly appreciate that. Because we need to see more of him. He is adorable.
You sound very excited. Why don't you start?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, I agree, Anna.
Okay.
Go for it,
I'll start. Well, here's the thing. I felt like I was more excited about Keo than Lolo, and I've got to be. And I'm going to say that I have preconceived notions about her because I follow Olympics very carefully, summer and winter, which she's participated in. She's an elite athlete. She's been her own worst enemy when it comes to attitude and performance. And I think she expects so much of herself. And sometimes when she doesn't deliver, she gets frustrated. And on this show, when you get frustrated, when you have a moment where you forget the steps or you're just like, what the heck happens? If you come across too hard, as we were just talking, fans don't understand that. You just have to be real and maybe go with the moment. But she's an elite athlete, and they react differently than actors do or someone else like that.
Performers,
Yes. So I think
they get competitive, and they forget that it's still a TV show, firstly.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now, I know you love Lolo, so sort of give the flip side on this.
I have so much to say right now. Excuse me as I spit across the table.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Okay, I'm devastated, honestly. I love Lolo. I've obviously followed her entire career. I was very excited about Keo as well. I understand as an athlete where her reaction came from. And yeah, this show is all about, the fans like relating and the fans being happy and not happy with your reaction. But guess what? She was being herself, and she's hard on herself. And elite athletes are another breed of people. If you don't get that and you don't follow sports, we are explaining it to you.
Unless you're a nice dancer.
It's just maybe.
Unless you're Sweet Meryl. Sweet Charlie.
It's just different. Like, I just get it. And she has a history of kind of flubbing, which she explained in some interviews, and she wanted, this was an opportunity for her to step outside of herself, do something new, and not flub up, and then she did, and it was just extremely unfortunate. So I really felt for her, the entire thing. I just really feel terrible for her that she didn't really get a chance.
And it proves that this show is not easy. It never is. Mm-hmm. It's grueling. No. It's hard. And the one thing is, like, you knew that they were going to start playing up the Virgin card in her storyline with all of that, and I was like, they were setting the stage for that. But I don't think it has a lot to do with Dancing with the Stars.
No, here's a question for you guys, though. With Keo being new to just the U.S. show.
I think he's new to. Is he new
to Dancing with the Stars?
He's not new to Burn the Floor. Yeah, that's what he was.
But I mean, but he's fairly young.
Dance with the Stars.
I wonder, just throwing this out there for feedback, I wonder what it would have happened had she been with, say, Max, who is tall and is a veteran of the show, when she kind of freaked out. If it would have been a different outcome. I know that's like from left field, but just a partner that's been around on this show for a long time, like Tony, with experience of people kind of freaking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's so left field because Max had Hope Solo, who's very similar, and took her to the semis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I feel like it just was the whole thing.
I almost feel like, I think Keo is adorable. I think he's so sweet. I think he's a fantastic dancer. I mean, I saw him in the group dancing, all the dancing that he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's great. Mm-hmm. He's fast, and he's like, so nothing against him as a dancer. I think he's awesome, but I agree. He just came in as like, I'm just so excited to be on TV.
I love his energy.
To come to America.
He's awesome.
And Lola who?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be overwhelming. Come on.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think.
So he's fresh off the press. He himself is like, what the heck is that? So when you have a celebrity, and he kind of mentioned a little bit in the going away interview, right, on Tuesday, and the subtext explains, well, I had a different kind of Lolo every single day, which means she's moody and she's tough on herself, and some days good, some days bad. Like, he is so overwhelmed himself that to take care of another person when you're just trying to take care of yourself and figure out what the heck is going on. And you know our guys, our pros, they're like, okay, welcome to the team. All right, get your stuff together. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, this is how it happens, and blah blah
right.
blah.
Well,
blah.
it's still a competition.
Exactly. They're like, yeah, okay.
Get it
nice
together,
abs,
dry your
whatever.
tears. Well, I think it's very similar the season that Lindsay Arnold had Victor Ortiz. And I saw Victor at the Dance With Me opening, and he said, he goes, I was really a challenge for Lindsay. He said, you know, it probably would have been easier for me to be thrown with someone like Cheryl or something like that. He goes,
Karina,
Karina, who has handled a lot of athletes, because, you know, she's new, she's young, she was still a teenager, and here he's like, he goes, I was all over the place, and I was training, and then trying to do this, and
I really feel, not to cut you off, but I really feel like it would have been a different outcome.
It would have,
and nothing against Keo. I'm like in love with the guy. I think
But
he's
you could
awesome.
say that for any couple.
True.
Switch the partners and the stories are different.
True, but when you have a vet, it's a little bit different.
But it's like, I also agree with, yes, I think it's a combination. I do agree with you about if she had another partner, Gleb, for crying out loud. And he's tall.
Yep.
He's only been on one season.
Yeah, but he's been in Australia.
Yep.
He's done that show a few times in
okay.
Australia,
Yeah.
so he knows what's up.
Yeah.
You know, and or Max, or who else is tall?
So Tony's tall.
Tony's tall. Tony's 6 feet. I mean, she's like 5. She seems like 5'11".
He had her in heels. I was super happy about that for their cha-cha.
Then maybe it would have been different for her a little bit. Maybe she wouldn't be so feeling like she's on her own.
Yeah.
She has to do everything because at the end of the day, it's a team effort. It's not just about the celebrity. The pro has to come in and be a partner, and celebrity has to come in and be a partner. It's as much as it's Dancing with the Stars, but the pros, we really are partners to them, and it means a lot. Mm-hmm. But I thought Lola was like, she was literally taking it like she was running track and field again, like by herself. And that wasn't the case. She wasn't by herself. She was with another person that she could rely on, and she just didn't want to do it, or couldn't do it, or whatever. So, but can I just mention something? I adore
ahead,
her.
Anna.
I adore her. I respect her so much for the things she stands for. I think she's a phenomenal athlete. I think she's a gorgeous girl. Mm-hmm. And to me, it was devastating to see not even her dancing. I was like, oh, dang, she messed up. But that happened to other people. But her reaction afterwards, it's like she was literally putting nails in her own coffin. I was like, don't say that. Like, oh, no. I was like, just smile.
Because she's always fighting.
Just smile. No, that's not fighting. That's like
She's
digging
fighting
your
her-
own grave. She was digging her own grave. I'm like,
I didn't feel like it was fighting. I felt like she was so. You guys,
She's fighting her confidence, though. This is what I think.
but
Moments
she wasn't
of
fighting the judges, though.
She wasn't
No,
fighting
not
the
at all.
no,
Not at all. No.
But she was beating herself over her head again and again and again and again and again.
Beating herself up, yes, I agree.
In front of millions of people
Yes.
who love her already. She's coming off Summer
I can
Olympics
relate.
and
I'm
Winter
sorry.
Olympics. She's coming from Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics. Listen,
But hold on, you guys.
She has so many fans. All she had to do was just say yes.
Yeah,
But that's it. And the
Done.
fans interpret it as fighting back. And on Twitter, a lot of people found that rude and disrespectful.
Even though that's their perception of it. I get it.
Even if she wasn't, but you have your voting audience, and that's what they're perceiving. And that's one of the reasons she went home.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Ultimately, I think what she said, though, about Betsy, in the boa versus her and her steps, I get it. That she said it,
Well, explain it in case people haven't seen
Okay, sorry,
the interview.
if you didn't see it. Betsy Johnson, I think, probably would have possibly gone home if Lolo hadn't screwed up all of her steps, because Betsy and her boa, she couldn't pull the boa off the rack. Tony had just laid it there, and then the stagehand supposedly wrapped it, so they lost like 5 seconds at the whole end of the routine or whatever.
got messed up,
and Lolo had said that the right person's going home because I screwed up my steps, and Betsy it was a boa thing, it was a prop thing, so
she just wanted to clarify.
Good TV, though.
It was good TV.
It was amazing.
Okay, so Lola was 6'6", for her cha-cha, 22 in total. We know she went home. We obviously were very heated about Lolo, and too bad she's not here anymore.
By the way, it was better scores than Betsy.
Well, and that's
Let's
another.
go
We'll talk about it.
on. Let's talk about it.
Because we move right into Betsy and Tony doing the cha-cha-cha. And Betsy
Serge is shaking his head.
Betsy Johnson is 73 years old.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
When I heard that Tony got this, I did text her, and I was like, Tony and Betsy is like, stop, I can't. Come on. I mean, she's so crazy. What did he say? A circus in her mind?
Yeah.
I loved that.
That was
That
good.
was a great quote, Tony.
Yes.
some great flexibility for a woman that is 73 years old.
And strength too, actually.
Strength.
She's quite strong.
She's colorful. There were a lot of props, and she is colorful. I mean, but there were a lot of props. We saw what happened with the cane last season multiple times with Charlie White, and now we have feather boas and wardrobe. Let's talk about that cha-cha.
Yeah, I mean, wait. I was just going to talk about I can't speak.
Let's talk about the cha-cha. Focus first.
Boa.
Take it. Go for the cha-cha.
Go for the cha-cha.
Speak.
I thought the dance didn't deserve all 5s. I felt like the judges were very comfortable with 5s this opening week. They were really just giving them out.
They were happy to give out 5s.
But the boa, I think, actually saved her in the sense that the fact that she pulled the end of the routine off. You know, I think as a judge, if I was watching a dance, if she were to fumble and get scared and like stop or something, then I would say, oh, that was really bad. I didn't see the end of that routine. But she got, well, first of all, she was really committed to getting that boa.
She pulled the entire rack over.
I'm taking this whole rack with me. I'm finishing my routine, which, okay.
Before you moved, that thought that went through Tony's head was just like, oh, God.
And then he's like, stop, because everyone's tripping
You
over
gotta
things.
watch it again and just watch Tony when he's like,
amazing.
first he's committed to trying to save the routine, and then he's like, nope, I'm just gonna watch you do this.
You can see his face. If you know him, you know what he's thinking.
Stop.
But she's a performer, and she just went in and gave the routine an ending.
And
it was perfect.
let's
Go to your
give
cartwheel.
Tony props. He said, go finish your cartwheel and split, because that's her
Yes.
signature on the runway, and I love that he told that to
Yeah.
her, because that was perfect. It
Yes.
really was.
He's really good like that. He saves the day. He like gets people who like forget the choreography and look at them, and he like has to talk to them through. You know, that happened with China.
Yes, no, he is one of the pros that you want in your corner if you've completely blanked.
Yeah, he can backlead everything. You know, he's great like that. I actually liked the cha-cha. I thought she was really good. She was better. She had fluidity. She had fantastic chaîné turns. She clearly is flexible. She's on time. She had proper footwork. Yes, she messed up the ending, the last 5 seconds. I wish I would have seen what it was. But technically, this was a good cha-cha, and I don't think it deserved 5s. Yes, she messed up her ending. I think it should have been all 6.
I agree with you.
Tony's face he was really surprised.
Oh, they were mad. He was mad.
Why were they so
He was
happy?
mad. I could see it on his face.
Why were the judges happy with their 5? Like,
They were very 5 happy. I mean,
What was that?
Maybe because of the I don't know.
Bruno
new
makes
season.
it look like a present. 5.
That is not a present. 5 is
In
not
other
a
countries,
present.
they're harder. We're really friendly with the 9s and 10s, so maybe they're trying to start.
I mean,
it off.
I get it how in the beginning you got to give the lower scores so that you can improve, you know.
But she was pretty good. I mean, come
She
on.
was devastated by
Come
her
on,
scores.
they judged bilingual friend like higher than that.
Oh, yeah, my God.
We'll just get there, you know. But some of the people that their own ability, even though they did mess up routines, but because of the boas or whatever, their own ability isn't quite as good actually as Betsy's. I think she's very talented. I'm so impressed with her being 72. Doing all that and learning this routine, because we've had plenty of, you know, older ladies doing that were just literally doing nothing. I mean, she actually had a routine.
We had Kate Gosselin, and Tony pushed her around the dance floor. Come on.
And she wasn't
There's been
72.
worse
She was
than
30
Kate.
something.
There has been worse than Kate. Tony's
They were-
partner a few
yes.
seasons ago. Very big country music singer.
Oh no, Winona.
I love her, but you know
That was
hey.
a tough one. She
okay.
she didn't want to dance. She didn't want to move. I felt like
She
we
didn't
just.
want to.
She
Come
didn't.
on.
She did not
wanted
look like
to.
she really wanted to get up and dance. No, there's people that don't like to get up and dance. With Winona,
You're killing me.
Who signs up on a dance contest? Tell
I
me.
don't know.
Dance.
If
She
you
just
don't wanna
couldn't
dance.
dance.
I think she could. I think it was a mental thing. But let's go on to Tavis and Sharna on the Foxtrot.
Travis and Sharna.
3 seasons ago. Tavis and Sharna doing the Foxtrot. Sharna, hello, 13th pro out of nowhere. So we're glad to have her on.
Lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13. I like that Tavis is very open to this process, because he's
Yes.
so focused and
Yes.
serious as a talk show host. I was happy to see that he just was like, I'm here, I'm 50, let's do this.
I was pleasantly surprised. He had like this life in his steps. He was skipping, like when at the beginning of his routine, he was like doing stuff like this. Bruno freaked out. I was sitting right next to him, and we felt the same thing, because I was blown. I didn't expect that, you know, serious man to come out and enjoy that process like that and really live through that. And I think Sharna is amazing. As
she
a
is.
teacher, as a performer, and as a choreographer, her routines are always spot on with the production, the steps to make it that type of dance. And also she makes it kind of, I don't want to say easy for the audience, but she like gives it to you like, this is my show, and you know exactly what you're watching, you know?
Totally agree. I screamed in the very beginning of the number, just because of her, you know, when they were playing he was playing her.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
the
cute.
piano part.
Yeah,
That's
My
great.
favorite part of the routine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Mine
great.
too. Yeah.
What do you think of Tavis?
Well, I did not know who he was.
A lot of people. This was one of those Google-worthy celebrities.
So, which doesn't say much because I didn't know who Jerry Rice was. So, hello. So because I did not know who he was, I couldn't quite relate to him. And you know, like you say, oh, he's such a serious man, and he's so serious on his talk show, and now he lighten up. I'm like, you're just a dude that is, you know, trying to do a foxtrot. To me, I love the choreography. I love the routine. I think Sharna's dress was awesome.
That white.
Oh my gosh, the
gorgeous.
white with bright fuchsia. I can talk and talk and talk about this dress. I think she looked phenomenal. So,
Please
to
do.
sum it up, I did not see Travis. I saw Sharna a lot.
And his
but I
name
did
is
not see-
Tavis, which we're going to be doing all season long.
Is it Tavis?
It's Tavis. There's no
I'm
R.
sorry.
No.
It's Tavis.
It's
So,
going to happen all season.
Tavis, I did not see him, and he's a large man, you know. But
He's a little heavy on his feet, so he's going to have to watch that.
that's not. It's like okay.
But he got 3 7s and an 8.
Crazy.
See, way
These
overscored.
scores I don't
way
get.
overscored. I mean, I guess for swag, he got good swag.
They had some good swag.
So maybe for swag, they gave him
It's
an
not,
8.
and it's not that I don't get that why they got, you know, an 8 and 3
But then
7s.
why does someone...
Why did then someone get something lower?
Yeah.
We debate this every season.
Same.
I wish I
Same
knew
old
what the
same.
scale was in these judges' heads, you know?
Yeah.
What are they
We always talk
ranking it
about,
on?
like, are there certain points that they're looking for
Yeah.
and tell the audience what they're looking for, but we never get that. Before, this is the big moment of the show. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Before we continue on to some of the other dances, iTunes, of course, you can download us, and we want you to, of course, rate us 5 stars. Put up your 5. There you go. And we love all of your comments on YouTube as well, and all of your tweets. We certainly appreciate them. The girls have the 5s already.
Yes. 5, please. It really does help us out.
It does.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to this couple. I wasn't sure what to expect with Sadie Robertson, little Duck Dynasty, 17-year-old.
The Duck Girl.
With Mark doing the cha-cha, but man, that was kind of fun. I mean, and the girl's not allowed to dance, very footloose. So
For high school, right.
Yeah,
They're
in
not
high
allowed
school.
to dance.
Yeah, and then she steps out of high school and you can dance. So I thought that was like, did that go over everyone's head? I totally don't
I didn't
believe
under-
that
I
she
don't-
doesn't dance.
She said she danced at home.
Oh, I believe it.
At home and wherever in town dance school there was, maybe they had a
Kevin Bacon?
private ballet instructor. I don't know, because I saw in the beginning of the season when they were like doing all the like 10 days left, 7 days left, 5 days left, all those fun pictures. The one of Mark's and Sadie's videos when they announced that they were like Team Duck or Quack, and she like started doing the duck thing and her feet went in, boom, instant perfect turnout. I was like, first position, she knows what she's doing. Bang.
Does she have some secret dance training we haven't heard about?
I totally think so. I don't know.
idea.
I'm not.
She has got
I
a
don't know
nice
her.
posture and carriage.
She's
Yeah, she's
modeling a little
perfect.
bit, so
She's modeling.
she knows how to carry
And she was
herself.
performing, and that's what the second thing was, the fact that she was not thinking about the steps. She wasn't thinking about how to do the steps. She was already in the action performing from the get-go, turning her hair and jumping off that cake. You know, she was...
Maybe she's
But-
comfortable with choreography and isn't trying to remember the steps.
But
that-
also, listen, she's 17, and she has this bliss of not knowing very much, and that's great because then she doesn't double guess. She just does it. She commits to it, and I think that's some of the things that maybe some athletes
Right.
don't quite get. That you just have to. You don't double guess yourself. You just do it.
When you said it exactly right. Youth is in her pocket.
Always.
In this part.
And she's so cute, and the dimples,
And
and
the smile.
She's like, she has this sort of innocence about her that is very refreshing, and it's gonna help her through this whole process because she's just gonna take it as it comes. She's not gonna have any filter about it.
And Mark does well with younger contestants, and he also does well with conservative contestants. He kind of has a little, niche that right there. But it's the right thing, and it's one of those things that he's going to treat her with respect and understand what her parents are wanting for her on the show.
she's likable, and I think she's likable by Middle America.
Yes.
especially. For me, it didn't do a lot for me.
Dancing wise or
Dancing wise.
oh, dancing wise.
Yeah.
I just found her a nice surprise. Like, I don't know. I just enjoyed it.
I agree with you. I wasn't jumping out of my seat, but I definitely was like, oh, she has nice legs.
She's not going to be doing those hot Latin dances. I mean, like, it's going to be filtered somehow, so we'll see what happens.
But more like accent based. You know, so you're not looking at the two of them telling the story, but the routine itself is hitting that music. And Mark is a great choreographer in that sense. He always does those hits. You know?
Got that. All right, kids, we have 10 minutes left, and we've got like a gazillion dances to go through. So we're going to have to, So we're going to have to be short on all of these. I know we could talk for hours, but
Can't talk about Lolo anymore.
no more Lolo. 8899-34 for their cha-cha.
I mean, the
me, that
9
was too
was
high.
a little, yeah.
Okay. 8s probably would have been good. We go on to Emma and Michael Waltrip doing the cha-cha. Emma and that yellow Leo.
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
I saw. That's all the entire
I could
dance.
just not, I was watching her butt the whole time.
Yeah, I liked his comment about her butt. I think
The
that
year
was
of the
my
butt,
favorite.
honestly.
Coming out, yeah, I like it. Really quick, the couple, I was pleasantly charmed by him. That's all I want to say.
He's charming. He seems also open to the process. He's another one that's friends with Bill Engvall, so I'm like, did he request Emma? Do you think?
Of course.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say so. And I love Emma's dances, so I'm really excited to see them.
Yeah.
She's good. She gets the characters. She knows how to do all.
Yes.
See, everyone has like their little theme this season. You can really see it
I look
shining
forward
through.
to next week.
7666 on that one. So he got a 25, and you start
I guess
going.
they didn't like Emma's outfit.
I loved Emma's outfit. All right, moving on to new pro, but not new to the dance world for sure. Allison Holker.
My girl.
Yeah.
My girl.
I think she killed this jive. Like, it's a test for her to come out week one, Dancing with the Stars with a jive. But she killed it.
Killed it.
I really enjoyed the routine.
Doesn't she kill it? But we also she does have a partner, and his name is Jonathan Bennett. By the way, we're all talking about Allison and her jive.
I know.
She's not the contestant, kids.
I think
Well,
he's
just welcome to the show because it was week
Yes.
one.
And I know we have no time, but I want to know, Anna, because Allison doesn't come from ballroom. What did you think of her ballroom?
You know what? What Allison can't do. I think she was, I mean, even on So You Think You Can Dance when she was like 18, she was one of those girls that could literally do anything. And she's so talented and so just commits to everything. So she's like, this is what I need to do. I got to kick my legs now. I will kick my legs as high as I can, and as sharp as I can. And she's like, this is what jive is about. I'm going to do it. It was a little bit the package I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed his story. In the dance, I feel maybe because it was their first week. I mean, they were both a little a little startled, almost like, oh my God, where are we? And he has his big expressive eyes. So it was a little bit hard for me to pay attention to what he was doing, just because Allison was killing it.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I know. So 8778 on that one, total of 30. And I think, the one thing for Jonathan all season long is going to be matching Allison's energy.
100%. But I do think
His face can do it.
Allison can do it. But Allison has said that it's like a male version of her. And Allison, if you guys can't tell, she is full of energy. And what I've watched of him is like, oh, he is kind of like you.
Yeah.
And so they were paired up well, which is good because anyone else that was like quieter would you'd be like, it's just Allison. I don't know who else is there.
Yeah.
All right, we move on to Tommy Chong and PETA doing the cha-cha with a little cameo by Cheech.
Stars of the show.
Stars of the show. I don't know what they were referring to at all with all the green, haha. But Tommy is 76 years old, so
Amazing.
He's got some strength and flexibility too.
I loved it. The routine was smooth. The way PETA choreographed it, like he wasn't hitting, like running and turning. It was groovy. He was manly, and at the same time, I don't know if you guys noticed, he was really dope with his arm connections. He was like hitting these like reverse hooks and all this stuff. It was really good.
Love it.
Well, what did you think, Anna?
It was also probably one of the slowest cha-cha that I've ever seen on TV. So yes, he matched the musicality very well.
Got the groove. What'd you think?
That's well said.
Sorry.
For me, it was just okay. I think, he's not going to last very long. But I loved what PETA did with this.
Yes.
I definitely have,
They had a lot of fun with it.
I enjoyed it very
fantastic.
much. Yeah.
PETA
I love her
shoes had flowers on them.
screaming in the beginning, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah, yeah.
And her green ganja dress. Come on. I mean,
know.
that was amazing.
The best.
Yeah.
I think like 10 years ago, we never would have seen that on TV. And I just thought, look at how different life is.
Yes.
It's a good day.
That's great.
It's an interesting day. This is so funny. 7-6-7-7. So the 27 on that.
Overscored.
Okay.
Giving them room to grow.
I love it.
Give him, I think all the sixes would have been just fine.
Just fine.
Yeah.
I love this couple. Karina and Randy doing the foxtrot.
yes.
Now, I had forgotten when Karina's like, I know how last season went. And I was like, who is her partner?
That was
Sean
so funny.
Avery.
Yeah.
A little bit of a diss.
Karina's funny.
But she's looking forward to a good season, I think, with
And
Randy.
she came out full. Go.
Go, sorry.
I'm so in love with Randy Couture. I'm dying. I wasn't before this, and I probably was like,
Oh my gosh.
not just from the LA Heat. It was like
You
was
and
like
Carrie Ann.
Jesus.
I'm like, oh
You're
my
like-
God, this man is sexy. Holy
She's
cow.
blowing our ears out.
Guys, I'm sorry, y'all. He's so sexy. I'm super, super pumped for this couple.
He was rather light on his feet.
I was gonna say he was rather light everywhere. The way he placed his hand on her shoulder,
Light in his loafers.
it was very, very gentle, but at the same time, like strong man coming out. And I mean, I watch him on UFC all the time, so to see him come out and in this character nail it, I was not only
Yes.
shocked but pleasantly surprised.
Many people were. If you saw
Yeah.
Twitter feed and people like, yeah.
Well,
And-
I'm excited that they had another MMA guy because those are always surprising. First one ever they had was Chuck Liddell, and that was his partner. And I can relate to Karina definitely in a lot of things that she works with Randy on, and a lot of frustrations. And yeah, it was kind of it made me a little nostalgic. I miss Chuck.
Aww. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Karina and Randy are getting along very well too,
Yes,
and enjoying
they
the
would,
partnership.
yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that too.
Awesome.
So their score 8-7, 8-8 for a total of 31.
Yeah, I think sevens would have
Sevens,
been
yeah.
proper.
We move on to Bethany Moda and Derek doing the jive. Bethany Moda, one of the top YouTube personalities. A lot of people were like, "Is she a star?" Well, she is huge. If you are, a teen.
You know, I texted you. I was like, "Who is this?"
I'm like, "She's huge."
Before the season, and yeah, she told me she's huge. Look her up.
I was at a YouTube party on Monday night, and
Wow.
a lot of YouTube personalities were there, and a couple of people came up and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe Bethany is on the show. This is so good," because everyone else now wants to be on it. So this will probably not be the only YouTube personality we will see.
Well, YouTube
Interesting.
celebrity is a huge thing
They're
now.
huge.
Yeah, it's like its own subculture
Crazy.
now.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, because I'm certainly.
Well,
not
okay,
too
What do we
old for
think?
that.
Because Bethany does not have dance training. She's one of the few.
I'll tell you really quick. Look, obviously, I love Derek, and he is one of the other pros that really brings out the best in people. I had a really hard time with her flicks. I was like, "Ooh,
I thought so too. They were
God,
little. They didn't
this
finish.
is not good." If she was with somebody else, I'd probably be really scared for her.
Yeah.
But I feel better because she's with Derek.
Yeah.
Although it still doesn't secure me for them to go to the end, because after watching her flicks, I was like, "Ooh."
Yes, she's not the most flexible gal, let's put it that way, so she doesn't have like a point at all. So agree, Derek knows what he's doing. He carved out a really great routine for her, and she looked the best that she could have looked, and I think 50-50 it's her and Derek, but maybe like even 60 of Derek.
I was okay about it. I give her props because she's not trained, but at the same time, I forgot what the routine looked like. I had to go back on YouTube and watch it to get ready to come here today. But, unfortunately, that's a good
remember her
test
dimples.
to see like what you remember. I thought the
True.
production of the routine was clever. Her coming out of her
Yeah.
room like that, it was very well done. As a show number, it was cool when you're watching it, but it didn't stick with me.
She's going to need some crisper footwork. Lots of
Yeah.
room for
Some
improvement.
personality.
Yeah, Derek has some work to do.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It'll be
But
interesting
he
to
can do
watch.
it.
He can do it.
can do it.
Absolutely.
888-832. So that was a little.
I thought that was a
much.
present.
It was a present the very
nice.
first time to get her a little encouraged.
Well, you're dancing with the 5-time champion, so I guess you get presents.
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's open to interpretations.
Yes.
Many fans.
Okay, let's move on.
We go on. I know we're not going to get started.
Twitter
That
feed's
not go
gonna
there.
get crazy.
Yes.
explodes, but we're going to talk about the man to beat this season, Alfonso Ribeiro,
Yeah.
with Whitney Carson doing the jive. It was the encore dance for Tuesday night. Star couple. He's got confidence, and guys, he was a dance prodigy as a kid. A lot of you are too young to remember this, but I might. So, but he's always been a strong dancer, and that muscle memory is always still with you. So Quickly, everyone, what do you think of the jive?
I was screaming the entire number watching it. It was I can't remember a better opening night number. Not necessarily production wise, but like dance wise. For me, I don't know. I wasn't around every single season, but you know what I mean. Like I loved it, and I think he's gonna obviously go all the way to the end.
Yeah,
I can't see him not going to the end. He's likable.
He is likable. What do you think of the jive?
Oh, fantastic routine. He's clearly has dance experience. I mean, the speed, the lines, the interpretation, the musicality, the footwork, all of it has years of training underneath it, and he's gonna be the one to kind of. There's gonna be him, and then everybody else will be like, okay, how can we match that?
Right,
like,
he set the bar.
Yeah,
he did a really good job week 1 setting the bar, showing everyone what he's good at. But it wasn't. That's it. Like, he's got a ton more tricks in him. I know it's coming out, and he was performing it with. Didn't see the Carlton yet. I think it was really smart that he didn't bust it out.
Yeah.
He's saving it to the point to show that he's serious about what he's doing now.
Right.
And they did a good job. Congratulations, Whitney.
Whitney's a little star.
She really is, and she's coming into her own, which I love to see.
I love that. I felt like she really broke out when she had Drew last year when they did the big switch up. I felt like that was her big moment.
She killed that number.
She killed. Yeah. All nines, 36. Awesome. I want to mention just a couple things. Couples that were in jeopardy besides obviously Lolo, Leah and Artem, and then they had Betsy and Tony, and then it was Michael and Emma. So.
We know that it's not always everybody that's in jeopardy.
I feel like
now you know too. If you're new to the show and watching, they're not always all in jeopardy.
No, I think Leah and Artem were a filler.
I thought so too.
Fine, yeah, completely agree.
Absolutely. All right, we do have to wrap up because there's another show that's going to start immediately behind us. So I just want to say, of course, we have Keo next week and Greenya's coming back as well. Are you here next week?
We'll talk.
We'll figure it out. It's okay. We've got lots of people. You're back next week, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
all right.
ma'am.
So let's go around quickly. Suri, where can we find you?
Suri Serano on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hook up.
Trebunskaya on Twitter, Trebunskaya on Instagram, and Trebunskaya on Facebook.
Sergey.
At Serge Onik, everywhere.
All right, and I'm at Kristyn Burtt. We will see you guys next week. Keep all those comments coming. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Again on Wednesday.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.